Irashaimase! Hello and welcome to Fitaurus Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu today we've got Air Fortress for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Developed by HAL Laboratories, better known for their Kirby series, this title came out for the NES back in 1989. It has a special meaning to me since this was actually the first shoot 'em up that I personally owned. I of course had played others before this, but this was the first one that I actually went and got, received as a gift as it were. So it definitely goes and has a special meaning to me. That said, what kind of taste will this classic shoot 'em up go and have? Let's get cooking and find out. Alright, here we are at the main menu of Air Fortress. Not really a whole lot of options or anything here, so we'll just go ahead and jump right in and get started. You are approaching the first Air Fortress. We have 3 lives. So Air Fortress is primarily divided up into 2 separate parts per level. We've got the first section, which is the air base, where we're going and having to go and fight past the air defenses of the particular Air Fortress that we're going and assaulting. It's a pretty standard side-scrolling shoot-'em-up fare here. We just have the ability to go and move around the screen, and the vast majority of the enemies go and come from the right side of the screen, moving left. So nothing too original. But one element that is a little bit different about Air Fortress and its side-scrolling stages, we have these power-ups that we can go and pick up that don't actually go and affect us in our current state, but will go and come into play in the second part of the level. So the E are energy capsules, and the B are bullets for our crash beam weapon that we can go and use in the actual Air Fortress part of the stage. So our goal, as far as the air base levels, are just trying to go and make it all the way to the airlock of the particular Air Fortress that we're going and assaulting. If you ask me from a defensive standpoint, it's not very wise of the designers to go and leave the airlock open, but oh well, I guess it's their prerogative. Maybe they didn't think anybody could get past their defenses. And here we are. The game goes and takes over control, so you don't even get to have the pleasure of going to landing your ship yourself. And here we go. We're out of our little glider and into the airbase. You are now entering the Air Fortress. Now, rather than the standard side-scroller, we actually go and have a lot more range of motion here, and 2 primary types of attack. Ouch, I got hit there. We've got our standard shot, which has a pretty decent range, but, well, I'll show you the recoil once I actually land on the ground. And we also go and have our crash beam, which goes and uses up one of our bullets for each time. But check out the recoil on this thing, man. It's like, seriously powerful stuff. The elevators are kind of awkward to go and use as well. You go and actually walk into them and they'll open the door for you, but then you have to go and press up or down to actually use the elevator. So the energy that we collected on the surface was our total energy, and we use energy through movement, firing of our weapon. But all we need to do is just go and stop and rest for a second, and said energy will go and replenish. But it's possible to go and for our total energy to go and deplete as we go and take damage from various enemies or obstacles in the stage itself, like these little screw cylinders that can go and do some serious damage to them if we let us. If we let them. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway. So now that we're in the Air Fortress, the primary thing that we're going and trying to accomplish is go and find the base's core, destroy that, and then go and escape before the Air Fortress goes and collapses around us. Just a little bit of completionist there, gotta go and take out all the enemies. So the first fortress in particular is very, very straightforward. There's not really any divergence or exploration required. But in later air fortresses, that's not the case. They actually get to become very maze-like, and being able to go and navigate the bases in a quick and efficient manner becomes a very important part of the game. I believe, so here's a little Guardian core. It's not what we're actually after. One crash beam is usually enough to take those things down. And here we are, the core of the first air fortress. We go and destroy the core, and then everything goes dark and silent. We go and get this like wonderfully ominous music. And with the first air fortress, it's not necessarily very clear that you actually have to try and get out in time, since the escape pod is just right there. And we just go and blast our way onto... You are approaching the second air fortress. So, once again, same idea here. The airbase sections, we're just going and scrolling, trying to go and get to the airlock. The defenses are a little bit better here. We've got these spinning jack things that go and fly at us, and as the levels go and progress, things will go and get progressively harder. I believe starting in, maybe it's even approaching the third air fortress, those spinning jacks actually are firing shots at us. But it's still, nice and calm flight. Just going and cruising along. It's like I'm here to go and infiltrate and destroy your base. Don't mind me. For only going and really having about 3 tracks, I feel that they did a decent job with the music. It goes and... I'm sure it could go and get old after a while, but it's definitely serviceable for what we've got. Man, those enemies, they just don't like me. Running away at the side of me. More spinning jacks. Aww. So, there's one thing to go and note. When I died there, I went and started right where I went and died. But in the original Japanese version, you had to go and... Oh, that little item I got there was kind of just like a screen clear. In the original Japanese version, you had to go and start the stage from the very beginning, so they made things easier for the American release. Take that however you will. So, it's a pretty decent run so far. We were able to go and get 1,000 energy, and we've got 10 crash beam bullets. I'd like some more, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. You are now entering the air fortress. Okay, we're now in the second air fortress, and this one starts to go and add some new, more complicated elements pretty much right off the bat. We go and just move our way up and around this initial corner. You'll start to see what I'm talking about right here. We have to go and navigate around these tight corridors with spikes at the bottom. The spikes aren't instant death, they'll just go and deal damage to us slowly over time. But still, any little bit of damage we go and take goes and lowers our total energy, and that's not necessarily desirable. So I had 1,000 to start, and it looks like I've taken 1 hit so far. One problem with the positioning of the spikes, as I was mentioning, our gun has some serious recoil, so if we're not careful, we ourselves could go and be launching ourselves right into those spikes. Had a hard time getting over those corridors. Here's another fun little mechanic. I'm not quite sure how best to go and describe those. Gravity... Oh, garbage. Gravity wells? I don't know. They're basically these little gravity devices that go and suck us down as we pass over them. And since the stage is set up in such a way that it goes and blocks our path, we have no choice but to deal with them. sweet, more bullets. I'll forget you. Alright, we're definitely still making good progress. And up we go. I want to say that we're going and getting close, but maybe I'm off on that. So that guy down there in the corner would be a pain to get to since I can't shoot him unless I actually get next to him, so we'll just let him be. So here we go and come to an annoying enemy. These guys go and fire these really frustrating homing shots, and the only way to destroy them is with a properly timed crash beam. Oh boy. But awesome dodging on my part there. Did you see all those shots that I totally got hit by? Yep. Okay, how am I doing for energy? I had 1,000 when I came in. My max looks like I'm still doing alright. 743. I just can't dodge those things. It's alright. Come on, that was a total waste. So we gotta be getting close to the core here. I feel it. I think so. Maybe, maybe not. So as a kid, I don't think I was ever actually able to go and finish Air Fortress. I can't even remember how far along into the game I was even able to go and progress, but if memory serves, it wasn't that far. Okay, so here we're faced with our first directional choice. We can go left or right. Let's go left first. So with this still being the second Air Fortress, it's relatively simple in the direction you can go, but as the game goes and progresses, as I was mentioning, okay, this is the way to our escape, it definitely gets far, far more maze-like. Only escape. Note that, it's just the only way out. So I wonder if there were multiple ways to get out, if it would go and say, like, multiple escape, or like, this escape, that escape. Probably not. Come on, you're too slow, you're too slow! So, I failed to go and see what kind of benefit that they could, or that these defenses can go and really offer. Just spinning cylinders that don't damage the opponent for going and hitting them. You have to actually crush them to do any damage. Like, who's gonna fall for that kind of trap? I mean, seriously. Answer, not us. Hey, we get our first... This guy totally goes and looks like us, but he's not nice. Whew, I don't think I'm doing too good health-wise. Good enough. Alright, core of Fortress 2 now down. And we have another one of these mini cores to go and take out, blocking our exit. Didn't work so well. Now we just need to go and get back to our only escape. Ah, there we go. Got some satisfying shaking going on from the fortress. Doing well energy-wise. So they don't go really provide a timer, so I honestly don't know if the fortress can blow up with us inside of it, or if we have infinite time to try and get to our escape pod. I'm not going to try and find that out right now, though. I'm assuming you can probably die inside there, but not today. Alright, I think that'll just go and wrap me up for this episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. As always, thanks for going and watching. If you have any suggestion for shoot 'em ups that you'd like to see me feature on the show, or other games that you'd like to go and see me maybe take a stab at, by all means, please leave those in the comments below. And once again, thank you so much for coming out and watching me, and I'll go and see you again next week.